Hello everyone and welcome to my little video here. This video is dedicated to my little buddy Kannon. He wants to learn how to do like green screening effects. He wants to be able to make his own little videos and make it to where he has no background. Now, why don't you see a green screen behind me? Well, that's because we are in a virtual room. This is a green screened room. And right behind me we have a green screen. So, this video is primarily about how to get your green screen and how to get yourself set up. So, let's dive in. We're gonna kind of look into the pricing of green screens and then how you can get it for, like, how you can get started on a really good budget. So, let's get to my screen here. So first off, let's find the pricing of green screens. So green screens, they are kind of cheap if you look hard on Amazon. Like, honestly, primarily the first people would primarily just look to Amazon, type in green screen. That's primarily how people will look for a green screen. And oh, you got $15, $16, $19, $44, $16. Yeah, all these green screens, they're nice and all. They are kind of interesting, but none of these are like mine. How are none of these like mine? Well, mine didn't come from Amazon. Mine actually came from Joann Fabrics. So, as long as you have Joann Fabrics near you, you'll be able to get one at a really good price. So, let me actually open up a sheet here so we can look at our pricing here. We have this untitled spreadsheet that I put together here earlier. Now, your budget will be looking at around $48.6, but let me show you exactly what you have to get. So first off, the green screen. The green screen at Joann Fabrics, the fabric that I found, which is good for green screening. In fact, it is the same exact fabric that you will find on Amazon when you buy from Amazon. It is a kind of a rough fabric. I don't even understand what crafters will use this for. I mean, it's something else. So yeah, whatever this is, it is something else. So primarily because of the size of my studio, first off, their price is $4 a yard at Joann Fabrics. And because of the size of my studio, I wanted to kind of make sure like I can get as far out as I need to. Like if I decide to push my camera forward, you kind of see like we got this pole in the way along with the rest of the scene. Over here, we got this pole. So I kind of wanted to make sure I could kind of adjust my camera in ways if I had to, just make it easier. So I decided to get the width of my studio, which is 6 feet. And then we needed, the next big factor is your lighting. Lighting is very important in your green screening because if you're in a dim room, the lighting won't look right. The green screen, it'll be hard to control. So you need to make sure you have lights that are like controllable. You don't want to just go to Walmart and get one of their $4 lights and just don't just go get a 60-watt white bulb. No. You need to get bulbs that you can control. So for that, you want to look at Home Depot. Now, you're probably thinking, "Oh my god, lights that you can control, those are going to be so expensive. They're like $40, $50. Not anymore. And here's why. At Home Depot, let's go here. We're going to look for smart bulbs. Smart bulb. Okay. So the main reason why you're probably thinking light bulbs are so expensive was because of the Philips Hue lights. Philips Hue, yes, they were very, very expensive. They do still total around $40, $50. But we're trying to build on a budget here. We don't want to spend $40 to $50. No. We want to spend less. And as you see, we got all these Philips smart bulbs. What's going on here? Well, these bulbs, they are only so cheap. And do you want to know the secret? The finger is pointing at it. Wiz. W-I-Z. Wiz. What is Wiz? Wiz is an application that will control these smart bulbs for us. Philips Hue, that was the old way. And I'm surprised. Those are cheap. I thought them things were so much more expensive. Another brand. But here's what we need to look for. When we're looking for the Philips Whiz, all you have to do is look for A19, okay? So even in Home Depot, look for A19. These are the bulbs I use. A19 LED bulbs. Why do I use these bulbs? Okay, so we're going to look for A19, and we want to find the this one. Color Internal A19 LED. And look at their price, $12.97. So these bulbs, they have multiple colors. They have multiple settings. They have warm light, cool light. They have everything you need. And they all work from an application in your phone. I have 6 of these, actually. Or is there 5? It don't matter. But all these light bulbs, they've all been set up, programmed to different rooms. In fact, in the app, you can set up multiple rooms and say you want to have you want to turn the whole room on at once. Just select the room, hit it all, turn it on. All your lights will turn on at once. Say you want to shut your whole room off. Select the room and hit off. They all shut off. Say you want your studio to shut off. Just hit off. It's all off. But here's the bigger benefit. These light bulbs, they can change colors. They have multiple color ability. You see that? Full color. Warm or cool. So, what is so awesome? What's so awesome about this is, say, with green screens, you kind of have to have the right color tone. If you just get a bulb that says so many lumens, then you're not doing science. There is science behind putting together your green screen. So make sure that you get color changing bulbs so you can adjust the brightness. Make sure it's the right brightness for what you're trying to use it for, and it'll work perfectly. Just set this brightness. Just tinker with it. At first, your screen isn't going to look awesome, so make the brightness as bright or dim as needed. So these are the perfect bulbs to buy. So get 2 of these bulbs. Why 2? Why did I put 2 in this spreadsheet? In fact, everything is written in 2s. Why am I putting 2? Why is 2 such an important number? Well, the reason is we want 2 separate angles. We want 2 angles coming in. In fact, let me see if I can get... You see how messed up that shadow is? You see how it looks like there's 2 different shadows? Let me see. You see how that shadow's kind of blurred? There's like one shadow that kind of looks blurred, and then there's one that's solid. That's because there's 2 cameras, or 2 lights. I got one pointing right there and one sitting right there. These 2 lights coming at different angles, they eliminate the shadows on the green screen. So let me show you that green screen here. We're going to go back to the no chroma key camera. And as you see, we barely have a shadow. The only shadow is right here where the cameras can't quite get an effect. So from having these 2 different angles, you light your face up more and you get better feed of your camera. So that's kind of where you need to look at that. Next up is how am I, wait a minute, I need to have 2 lamps then. Lamps could probably cost like up to $15, $20. Well, if you are working, like one thing you want to have is you want to have a second monitor. If you use just your TV screen as your second monitor, one thing you can do is you can get these light fixtures that they just clamp. So again, I'm going to go to Home Depot and I'm going to pull up these light fixtures I use. And I'm going to show why I use these light fixtures here in a second. For one, they are cheap. Okay, so light. Let's do work light. Okay, so first off, these light fixtures, they are really cheap and they are used in construction. It's these. Okay, so these lights, these housing units. This isn't the same exact housing unit, but the housing unit I use, it's the same exact price. I mean, you can use these too, but you don't have to use these ones exactly. Why am I using these? Well, first off, it's because of that clamp. This clamp, from having this clamp, it clamps to anything. If you're using your TV, it's flat screen. it'll clamp to the tip of your TV, giving you a lower angle. For me, my lights are kind of in another spot. Let me actually show you what exactly this studio looks like so you understand why am I using these clamps. So here, my camera's coming up. So first off, over here, you see this PVC structure? That's because this whole thing is pretty much made of PVC along with moving blankets. Why do I have moving blankets all around me? Why are these moving blankets here? Well, the moving blankets, what they are for they help absorb sound. They make it so the outside world can barely reach my microphone. But then let me turn this around so you can see my view. You see these two lights? Both of those are those lighting fixtures I showed you. And they both have the A19 light. So, and then like make sure your camera's right. So yeah. So that's kind of important to understand how to get your lights set up right. And we need those lights coming in at a right angle. So that's the housing. So yeah, this thing, along with these lights, they work magical. They do exactly what I need them to. In fact, these bulbs, I can go to a website and actually control them through my streaming deck. The Stream Deck, a fun tool. If you see this little button down here, lights off, this will shut off the lights in this room. I don't want to do that because I set the lights perfectly to how I want them. I'm probably going to have to go back into this, then that, and I'm going to make a second, like another one of these buttons down here to where whenever I enter this room, I could just hit it rather than using my phone to turn them on. But, yeah. So, primarily what we need is those two things. I'm not even going to show if this and that. But, yeah, I would suggest you go to Joann Fabrics instead of going to Amazon because you will save about $5 to $7 and you get your stuff instantly. Now, how you take care of your screen, it's different. Like if you just saw when I showed this screen is actually clamped to the roof of this structure. In fact, if you look right here, you see how it lays on top? That's because this is like overhanging on that structure. The green screen was the first thing I put up when I assembled this. So it does kind of matter how you set it up. The best way to set it up is have it on a flat wall. Because another problem is down here in this bottom corner, you see how it's kind of flimsy right now. If I wrap this around the pole and pull, you see how much flatter it looks now? Flatness is kind of important. This side, I'm not able to do that because this is like where my doorway to the outside world is. I have to open this up, and that's how I get to my outside world. Because this is a little prison cell I built for myself. But, yeah. So, once you have all this stuff in play, next thing you have to do is you need to once you have it all set up and everything, you need to get the software. Now, I don't just get you don't just go out there and you find, ooh, this little simple tool, it's going to be so simple, it's just going to fix itself instantly. No. You need to make sure you have the right tool, and honestly, because you're going to be doing game streaming, you kind of want to have multiple ways to show yourself. You kind of want to have it where you have this scene where it's just you're showing yourself. It's like, just like this, it's like I'm presenting myself. I'm like, hi, I'm Ian Oberdorf. Look at all my awesome degrees here. Oh, my hand. Look at this. My hand, it's cut off. I cut my hand off. That's one problem with chroma keying. In fact, if you even see, I'm making a big shadow. So that's another thing you have to avoid, making shadows. Make sure you have limited movement and make sure you're not going to create shadows while you do this. In fact, that's another sample. Look at this. See that shadow? It looks so blurry because the other light is helping out. Both these lights are helping each other. But, yeah, you see like all my degrees and stuff. Yeah. Well, honestly, one's a degree. The other two are rewards. But look how snappy they are. But these were actually made with green screen. And I'll show you that in a second here. I'll show you how you can add things like this in a green screen effect. But anyway, so in order to be able to like switch your cameras and do all this crazy stuff, make it to where like you're not seen, show that you have a green screen, show this. In fact, even here I could show I have a green screen by just simply, actually no, I can't on this scene. This scene I'd have to do something else. But yeah, you can see like we're just able to transition all these scenes that easy. Well, to do this, what I use is called XSplit. XSplit is a awesome tool, and I'm gonna bring it down to the monitor here to show you, because this is what I keep looking up at the whole time. Like, this is where I keep looking, like whenever I'm not looking straight at the camera, what I'm doing is I'm looking up at this monitor here to see XSplit. And this is what XSplit is. And if you are showing the XSplit tool while you're working on it, and you're showing like actually literally showing the screen, then it's going to be infinite. It's going to go on forever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever. Infinitely. Yeah. But, yeah. So as you see, we just keep getting multiple screens, and it's going to go on forever. You can even see the mouse is duplicating itself. And if I keep going left and right with the mouse, you'll see that each one is a fraction of a second behind. But it's because of processing. And this could kind of slow down a computer, I believe, because it is trying to process every single one of these images. So let's dive into how we edit the chroma key settings. So when you add a screen, we're gonna go to this screen here, and I'm gonna put a view of the of what we're working with up here as well, so you can see what exactly this looks like. So I'm gonna add a source here, screen capture, monitor capture, desktop 1. Okay, so now you can see the what I'm doing. You can see me as well. So here's what we're going to do. In order for me to show the chroma key effect, what we have to do first off, we have to make sure that our camera is selected. Now you see all these different sources. These are all different things. Like we got a Minecraft overlay. Yeah, you don't really need green screen for that. We got another Minecraft overlay. We got the Minecraft launcher, but it's not going to work because I closed it. You got the desktop screen, which I can click this little eyeball here, and you'll see it just disappears. So here's how we achieve chroma key. In the application, we just have to make sure our camera is selected, and then we right-click on our screen. Now this, just right-click. All right, so this is opened. Now make sure that when you have this open, you select color. So cam is something else, and we will have to mess with the cam in a second here too. Layout, effects, that doesn't matter. That's more like how it's gonna display. So go to color, and on color, the key thing is gonna be it's gonna say none. You have color key and chroma key. Color key is more complex than chroma key, and it doesn't quite achieve the same results. I don't like color key. I prefer chroma key over color key because it is a little different. So all we have to do, we're gonna hit chroma key. And as you see, by default, it's going to try to set you up with the greatest background effect. So, yeah, that's one thing that's awesome. Legacy mode. If you shut off legacy mode, then it's just going to be, we're going to try to set it up based off of, like, how hard you put it. So, legacy mode, not that great. So, hit legacy mode. That's awesome. It does have an eyedropper tool, which the eyedropper tool, it's going to try to fix up based off of where you set it. So when you're setting this up, make sure you select the area that has the color that you're going to use most. So look at these. We have a darker green than over here. So we're going to select this brighter green because I say there's more bright green all over this place. So I'm going to select that bright green. Oh, come on. Let's go to none, and then we'll try it again. Eyedrop tool. There we go. So there you go. So it just automatically set it. Now, a great thing to do here is you do kind of want to tinker with the numbers. You want to kind of, if you see like how this logo is kind of jacking up, I kind of prefer to have it around, well, honestly, that was actually pretty good. We'll have it set around 18 right now. But you also have this line here, kind of adjust that too. But as you see, as we increase right now, it's going to make my mic start blurring. So kind of make sure you're tinkering with these two lines. These two lines are the key lines that will affect everything. It'll help. Like, just try to make sure that while you're doing this, try to make sure that you have like little to no flickering. We want to try to eliminate the flickering right now. So as you see, when I was increasing this, Well, was it that was flickering? Well, honestly, that's actually making it better. As I increase this, yeah, you see how we're getting more and more flickering and things are starting to disappear? That's what we're trying to avoid. So make sure you're focusing on every aspect. Try to make sure that you're trying to make sure that, there we go. So you see how we have flickering in the background now? Just keep hitting this button until that flickering pretty much goes away. Okay? Don't go any further. Just stop once the flickering goes away. Next thing is your camera. Now, let me show you the issue I had with my camera. Now, by default, your webcam will have an issue. And here is where your issue is under camera control, exposure. Do you see how right now I look extremely pale? It's horrible. I don't like it. It's not what you want when doing a stream. People are going to be like, you don't know how to use a camera. And I got a blue tongue because I ate a snack bar, or I ate something earlier. But, so first thing, go into your camera settings and disable your auto exposure. And then set it to, like, just adjust this bar until you're at the right brightness. So, like, as you see, as I go down, it starts to expose the green screen. 6 is where I like it. 6 is kind of good for me. Then next, look at the video proc amp. Here you're going to find the white balance. Now the white balance, if you have it set to auto, it's going to kind of mess up your cameras again. So kind of tinker with that some. Find the right value for you. Like kind of decrease it a little at a time until you got like that perfect look. This kind of relates to what's called an iris, but that's going to show up in here. So exposure and iris, they're kind of the same thing, but don't worry about them. They are complex, and they kind of require like you to have some more video knowledge. But yeah, there you go. We pretty much have a great looking scene. Right now, the mic piece here might not look that awesome, but as you see, as I roll my finger along it, it looks better. The problem is because it's got a black background. So what's going on is because this is black and our background's currently black, it's trying to process that right. So what we can do, we can give it a background. So let me see if we have a good background here. I'm going to actually, yeah, let's add a source. We're going to make my desktop background behind me. Let's do the media files. And then we're going to find our background, which this background is hiding in here. Desktop backgrounds. And we select that. Open. Now, here's the problem. Do you notice as I place this, how I'm disappearing? So what's going on here is layers. Right now, when I add something, that thing will cover me because it's at the very top layer. All I have to do is I have to take that layer and drag it down below me. And there we go. So you see how now we're sitting in front of this layer. It looks like we have nothing, but like it looks like this is our background right now. That's what we want to achieve. Like, yeah, we still have a little wee bit of flickering, but that's because of reflections and all. But it's fine. You're going to have flickering. So we pretty much have achieved what we wanted. We have a perfect green look. Honestly, it's great if you don't have anything in the way. But, I mean, if you want to have, like, great audio quality and you have you know how to do audio engineering, that's kind of what you want. So, like, right now I'm listening to myself speaking. If I have a game playing right now, I could probably play that. I can be listening to that game through this headset. But one thing is I had an issue with these headsets earlier, and if you look in between right here, you can see that green screen starting to bleed. So you will have those times where you can't quite fix everything. So that will be some trouble for you. Not everything can be fixed, and I mean, the best thing you can do is just deal with it. People will probably see it, but they got to understand that it is complex. It's not like the easiest process in the world. See, like right now, you can see more of that green screen bleed. Yeah. But that's pretty much primarily what you have to understand in green screen. This is like the easiest setup to how you can get your green screen all set up. So This scene is primary, the scene that we just edited right now. This scene is meant for me to just show that I have a green screen, so I'm going to disable that green screen setting again. So, yeah, the setup we're using right now, this is set up for like presentations that I like, for meetings that I do. So we're going to forget that. We're going to get rid of this desktop because this isn't supposed to be here. Let's go on to adding your, like we kind of just did an overlay. Actually, I shouldn't have got rid of that. But honestly, we did kind of just go over overlays, like how to put things in and stuff. You saw the screen. You saw how I put in that background. You just got to make sure everything's in order. So once again, we're going to go back to the monitor here. The price, just be planning on about $50. Joann Fabrics, I don't know how their prices work near you, but I mean, they always have a sale. Go to their, before you ever go to Joann Fabrics, or when you go to Joann Fabrics, just open your phone, look up Joann Fabrics, and you will see. If we go to Joann Fabrics online, look at this, 60% off. Well, that's for, oh, there we go. Join, continue without 20%. Just sign in. They'll give you a coupon. Almost every time you go, they give you a coupon. Like, you just have to find this coupon. Coupons are weekly ads. 20% off your total purchase. So just click on that. There you go. Take it to the store. Show this to them, and you get a 20% off. They always have this, so that's a great benefit to shopping at Joann Fabrics. Now, they did not pay me to do this. I decided to show it. Home Depot, Joann Fabrics, you're welcome for me showing, like, giving you guys credit for being the place where I shop for my green screening tools. And I just noticed I'm on the wrong screen. Much better. Now I'm in there. But yeah, so green screening, it's fun. It's a science. This is a technology part of STEM. I teach STEM. I am a STEM instructor, and this is one thing I would probably teach kids. I mean, I would teach kids, like, how do you do this? How can you make this? Because it is fun. This is a science. In fact, the part of the channel I'm making is going to be science related. I will be teaching teaching how can you do different pieces of science. One idea I have is what's inside. So I plan to do a YouTube thing called What's Inside, and here's what What's Inside will be. What's inside will be what's inside. What is inside of different things. I'll take VCRs. We'll open up a VCR. We'll see, what does the signal coming from a tape actually look like? What does the signal coming out of the VCR actually look like? Because this stuff, all you see is video. How does that video actually even happen? Those are waves. What you don't see is the electronic wave that actually comes out when a video is processed. So that's one thing. So what's inside is supposed to be a really cool thing. Another thing is I'm going to be playing around. I'll probably be playing some of my awesome games. Like, we have my favorite games off of Steam. Age of Empires. I'll probably not be streaming that. American Truck Simulator. That's probably one thing I'll stream because I love trucking. I drive for Amazon right now. Not semis, but vans. Among Us, one of the biggest games in history. That released about 2 years ago. I believe it is one of the biggest games. Bus Simulator 18, that's driving a bus, not a school bus, a city bus. Construction Simulator, Farming Simulator, Minecraft Dungeons. Minecraft Dungeons, so far not the greatest, but I think it is a good game. I mean, it's kind of like a Zelda type game based in Minecraft. Then we have Minecraft. PC Building Simulator. That's probably the next thing I'm going to be streaming is PC Building Simulator. That's also part of why I made myself a little PC screen here. This was supposed to be the first test for the background of the PC simulator. Pinball FX2, that's great because I used to love the Space Cadet game. If you ever played the Space Cadet game in Windows 7, oh my God, I was so mad when they got rid of that. I loved that game. But luckily, Pinball FX2, many different versions. The best one, like they have Star Wars themed ones. They got Family Guy. There's a lot of different versions you can get. The Drone Racing League Simulator, that might be another one I'll probably do first because I love racing drones. I mean, I do have a drone, but it is a $500 one. I had a drone license for a long time, but the drone I was supposed to fly, it crashed thanks to the owner, and it grounded me for ever since. I can't get a drone of that price. I'm looking to probably make some money here and eventually get me one of those drones because those drones are awesome. And I actually know a lot of drones. I know almost everything behind DJI drones. So that's one big thing. But the Drone Racing League Simulator, that's not racing DJI drones. That's actually maps that actually do occur on the actual racing league. If you don't know about the Drone Racing League, find it. They aired it on ESPN. That's how big it got. Drone racing. All it is, Tyrannus controller. And I have my own Tyrannus controller, primarily to play the game, but also for me to build my robots. I use that same controller they use in the racing league to play the game, but also to build my own robots. Yeah. And then we have Train Sim World 2020. This is the CSX Heavy Haul, along with the their update. Both very good. I love trains. Trains have always been a fascination for me. I mean, just like the trucking, I wanted to be a semi driver and also a train engineer, but both got taken. Why? Because I have a history of epilepsy. Anyone that has a history of epilepsy, they are blacklisted from driving semis. But in Ohio, they might have what's called an intrastate law. That means I might be able to get a license, but I'm not doing it because I'm a Bachelor's of Science Computer Information Systems, so I'm not wasting my time with that. I mean, I might because one big plan I have is the STEM truck or else the STEM bus. And the size of that, I might have to get myself a CDL. But I would be getting myself a self-taught CDL because I don't want to have to pay for all these classes. And yes, it is for me to drive. It's not for it's not going to be like where I get hired by someone. I'm not going to be getting hired by any trucking companies. It's just so I can drive this giant bus. But anyway, so that's how awesome it is. XSplit, just download it. XSplit Broadcaster, awesome tool. It is what you need. You will need to have a second screen. In fact, behind XSplit Broadcaster, it is a free tool, but there is an upgrade. So if you want to get upgraded to where you can have as many scenes as you want, I don't remember how many there are. But the upgrades, you get a lot of stuff. You have no watermark on your higher resolutions. Yes, this video was streamed with a low resolution. You get higher frame per second. This had only 30 frames per second. Stream delay, that gives you the option to delay your screen by so many seconds to be able to edit things. Local streaming, be able to broadcast the stream through a LAN. Express Video Editor, I believe that's to where you can do like some other stuff. Preview Editor, that's to where you can edit before you actually have it on the scene. So, it like with what we just did earlier, showing the like editing the camera scene, like when we were editing the green screen, showing how to get it set up. We could have done that through Preview Editor. Audio Mix Editor, that's like to edit the audio settings. Projector, use it for monetizing purposes so I can make money for making my stream. And there's many more, which I have no idea what they are. But, yeah. So, if you want to get into green screening, it's a fun science. Go out there. Go to Joanne Fabrics. Like I showed you. Price, So simple. Go to Home Depot. Get those smart LEDs. Get that light fixture. They are great pricing. The light fixture and the LEDs, they will help you learn how to set up your studio, get the right angles, and all that kinds of stuff. So go do it. Become the streamer you were meant to be. Be what you want to be. Learn the science behind how the weatherman stands in front of this display and he points and says, so today we have so much, like we have partly cloudy skies, temperatures high 80. No. And of course, if you look at the date, we have a temperature in the high of, I believe, 76 here. No. Actually, no, that'd be a record high, honestly. It's a high, I believe today's high is actually 68, which is a pretty high temperature for November. And this is in Ohio. So, yeah. Get out there, make a green screen, and be awesome. That is all the time I have. This was for my little buddy Kannon. He wants to understand how this stuff works. He now knows because I sent this video to him. So, have a good time learning green screens, audio engineering, understanding how the sound works and stuff. That's another story. But if you are going to be an amateur streamer, I will suggest something like the Snowball by Blue Ice or Snowball Ice. This is a simple starter microphone. It is $50. The main reason why I have this is actually for the meetings that I do, which you probably saw that we have one coming up later tonight. It's called the IEEE XCOM. That's why I also have my IEEE shirt on. But this was for when we were meeting in person so we can get better audio quality online. And then I also have two desktop speakers that I got so I can have better, great audio quality online as well. But when I listen to this thing, I'm it's not a bad feed. And also, if you want to be awesome like me and you have a nice little boom mic or a boom stand, then what's awesome about this mic is if you just if you unscrew the base, takes a little while. If I unscrew this base, you have the same bottom as this microphone. Now, originally, you have this smaller screw, but usually when you get one of these, they come with a transformer as well to where you can attach this to that mic. And then another factor is you don't have to have an audio interface. This microphone requires an audio interface. Not this one. This one. Because it is it requires what's called phantom power. Now that is, you'll understand that if you're an audio engineer, but it is something else. In fact, for my sound, I kind of went all out. I do karaoke hosting, I host karaoke, I sing karaoke, and for my karaoke, I have something that a lot of people love when I bring, and let me show this to you. The Studio Live 16. Now, why do I love this thing? Well, you see all these levers and knobs. This little lever here, this controls my speaker volume. So for my computer, for my headset, when I'm trying to listen to my games, I can just turn this up a little bit or bring it down when I want less volume. Now, ready for the magic? Watch it. I'm going to hit this button right here. I'm going to hit that one button. Everything changed. Do it again. Everything changed. Now, this is my mic volume. Right here, this is my microphone. I can just turn this up or pull it down. That controls how loud this microphone that I'm speaking into sounds. So, there you go. That's how awesome it is. So, you learned how to make yourself a virtual room just like this one. You learned about my little snowball. You learned how to actually set yourself up. You learned the price behind getting started. So, I ask one thing of you. Get out there and start green screening.